What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Book of Boba Fett video. This is just an off-the-cuff video, some thoughts off the top of my head and thoughts I had while watching the show, because unfortunately I do not have the time to write a complete and utter deep dive into the show, unfortunately, but I am loving it. I am really enjoying this show. It is an absolute joy to watch week to week. I think Tamara Morrison and Ming-Na Wen are doing a superb bang-up job. I have seen some people want him to go back to being a bounty hunter, but we are getting some incredible characterization and storytelling, both, as I said last week, in the past and the sort of present that we have in the show. Of course, we learn more about Bib Fortuna's reign as Daimyo, and we find out that, well, he actually had a sort of fragile alliance with the area on Tatooine split up into different fragile, uneasy alliances, and it seems like the mayor is playing at absolutely everyone because he's an utter douchebag. It was divided upon three families, and going into this, Boba did have problems with the Hutts as well, who want to take over their cousin's world. But the sort of, well, not even the story of the week, because this was pretty much resolved very quickly, as we had a water worker arrive and say that no one respects him and that water rights are a problem here on Tatooine. Obviously, it's a desert planet, and this person is charging more than what they should be. And I'm surprised that water rights have not been used more in media as a plot device. But then again, that happened in Quantum of Solace. Less said about that, the better. But it turns out that these street urchins are stealing the water from this guy who is charging a markup, and Boba, who is a fair man. And it's interesting to the dynamic of Boba and what he wants to do, because while Jabba would literally go and kill them all and take the water back and take the money, Boba wants to create a fair society here, as he's like, yeah, you're getting less. But the guy did disrespect him, and while disrespect from these power players before would be instant death, he absolutely plays him there and gets a new Quadrophenia-style mod gang. It did make me laugh that they are all on Power Ranger-style Vespers, which would make Luca happy, and I could not help but get the Quadrophenia soundtrack out of my head while watching this. We have Sophie Thatcher arrive, who it's unclear who she is, to me at least. I would be interested to hear if she is someone in the expanded universe, but I could not find who she is. Love to hear your theories down below, who you think she actually is. But I thought it was pretty cool that he was like, yeah, you're gonna join me because there's no work there. But we get a flashback here, and while we know that the Pikes are involved in the past, he goes to them to get the money for the protection. But it turns out that the Pikes are paying another gang. It's an interesting one because the Pikes are an incredibly powerful gang. Of course, part of Darth Maul's Shadow Collective, alliances with the Crimson Dawn. So it's an odd one, and the Snicton Riders are actually taking that. However, we have Boba say that he is going to go and take and deal with them so the Tuskens can get the protection money. However, they have been wiped out. The bike gang has done a whole Anakin Skywalker and taken out these Tusken Raiders. So, bit of a L and an F and an oof for Boba there. And I expect that people who wanted him to be the solo kind of like whole badass bounty hunter, we're going to get that in the past now, that storyline, and we can see why these flashbacks exist, because they're coming full circle. The Pikes were involved in the past, and the Pikes are now involved in the present. But we get a jump scare with Black K pulling him out of the pod. Really cool that we saw this character. Many of us were hoping we'd see Dr. Aphra, but no, we did not see her. I'm still holding out hope for seeing one of my favourite expanded universe characters to appear, but we have the gang save him, and he is pushed into a Rancor pit, which is pretty funny, but there's no Rancor yet. However, the Hutt twins arrive with a gift and an apology for sending Black K to kill them. They send Danny Trejo with a Rancor to give to our boy. Now, of course, they're apologizing. They wouldn't do this if they thought that they could kill him, but a more powerful gang are arriving, and that is the Pikes. The territory was promised to someone else, and that syndicate is the Pikes. But we get to see and learn more about the Rancors. It's really funny that this show is expanding upon everything that has happened before, and that these kind of brushed over kind of species and monsters, the Tusken Raiders, the Rancors, are getting more of a personality. Of course, the Rancors did have more of a personality in the Bad Batch. There was an episode there that featured them, so that's interesting nonetheless. But Black K has been released. He will now have a life debt owed to Boba Fett. So that means that he will return and help him defeat the Pikes in the final episode. Obviously, that's what happened in The Mandalorian. All the characters that he met came and helped him. Same in season 2. Every single character and group that he found, that Jin found, came and joined him. They're following the same thing here. But we have the biker gang chase him, and well, we have the mayor's guy absolutely mug him off, and we ride off. And we get a chase scene, which was pretty cool, very much like Star Wars Rebels, very much like the animated thing. A bit iffy at parts, but we saw a funny scene where a painting of Jabba was flown through, and that was pretty funny. But it turns out that the Pikes are arriving in force on Tatooine. I did like the mention by Danny Trejo's character of the Witches of Dathomir, who rode the Rancor. I expect that Boba will ride this Rancor and take it right in and take out a lot of these Pikes. But someone else is making a power play for this planet. Of course, we don't know what happened after Solo to Kira, really. Obviously, she was involved in the comics. She fought like Darth Vader and was involved in the war of the bounty hunters. But it will be curious to see where she is in this thing. Is she managed to fully get the entire Shadow Collective back after the events of previously? I would like to see that, and I would like to see Kira appear. It just has to happen. I really hope that it does. But it will be fun nonetheless. We've got Crimson Dawn mentioned last week. The Pikes are here as well. So it does look like we will see Emilia Clarke. I do hope. But this battle is just heating up. But Fett has his Quadrophenia mod gang who can help him. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like down below. Do subscribe with the notifications on. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.